Alright, so we are going to take this thing apart and put in some of these Fender M90 pickups. These are very generic, crappy sounding pickups, and we'll see what kind of difference these pickups make. So I'm going to start with the neck pickup and just remove these screws so I can properly identify the wires at the pots, which I mean I should know that, but and you see there's just one strip of doesn't look like they've got a lot of lead there. I hope you'll be able to oh, there goes the springs. Keep those. Okay. Oh, they've got them soldered together too. No big deal. Alright. Work on getting those guys out. You know, this is as close to... Maybe I can get this thing down a little bit. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Yeah. I hope that maintained focus. We'll see. It'll be what it'll be. I'm still kind of learning this Sony VF1 camera, but alright. To the desoldering we go. I'm just going to get this ground out of the way. Then we'll take the lead off, the hot lead off that pot. There we go. And I will try to disconnect these two braided wires. There. Not too bad. Alright, let's get that guy out. I guess feeding this wire in might be a pain in the ass. And these are marked neck and bridge. So I hope those screws line up too. Looks like they will. Okay, let's feed this guy in and hope we can get it through there. It's a pretty thin wire. I'm not super impressed. Actually, these Fleor pickups have braided wire, so that's kind of nice, but these Fenders should be better pickups. Let's hope so. Trying to get it through that cavity without taking this other pickup out, but I'm not sure that's going to work. Have to take this off anyway. Just doing these one at a time to be a little more methodical about it. There we go. Alright. No, I don't think it matters which way these guys go in. I think I want to keep those springs intact though, so. Okay. Excuse me if the camera angle isn't perfect. We aren't perfect. Those out. I'm just gonna put a screw in to both of these temporarily just to keep things in place while I flip it over. That's interesting. That pickup surround is a little large. Very interesting. Cocksuckers. Of course that wouldn't be. This is the thing. You know, I'm gonna force that thing in because it's just barely. Barely. It's just a Chinese guitar anyway, right guys? not bad. Well, I don't need the screw for that right now, but I will put one in this guy just to keep it in place. So this color is definitely more orange and much lighter than a Gibson Gold Top. It doesn't look bad, I don't think, but it doesn't look great. Ah, shit. That's what I didn't make that through. Everything's a pain. Just gotta get through it in life. Just gotta get through it. Might have to feed something in there to pull it out the other side. Try to force that in. I think it's just getting balled up in there though. We'll see. See if I can get that to poke through. Bastard. Alright, fuck that thing. Got it. Okay. No big deal. Get this thing back on here. Okay. So this one isn't too bad, but the bridge pickup, they cut the wire right at the... It's really annoying that they did that, so I gotta strip back that and get some ground wire exposed, but this one should be okay. So let's get this thing straightened out. Just put a little J-hook on there. I should probably do the ground first, but let's get that going. It's nice to get an extra blob of fresh solder on there, and clean your iron tip regularly on a wire or a dampened sponge. Get a little more on there. Let's see if we can get this guy to take... Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Get this guy going. Alright, that's not bad. Now we'll remove the other one, which is over here. Start with that ground wire. Or the shielding in this case. Yeah, I really like that they use shielding on these cheap Chinese pickups. You know, these Fenders may be cheap Chinese too, but I just have a feeling they're going to be better quality. We'll see. Oh, that's interesting. There is no ground wire. Oh, I guess there's that, and there's that. Oh, and that's how they're doing that. I might have to put a ground between these pods. Probably will. To ground all the pots together. At least that one, and that one. Anyway, let's get this damn thing out. I've been using my iPhone for quite a while for filming. recording videos, and it's done pretty admirably, but I thought it'd be better just to have a dedicated camera, so I got this Sony. I probably should have splurged and got the regular ZV, but I got the ZV-1F, which is like a blogger's camera or whatever. It seems pretty good. And for what I'm using it for, I think it's adequate. Tell me what you think. Bastard. These skinny ass wires, getting them fit in there is a pain in the ass. I got lucky with the first one, I think. See if it can get it to the other side. If not, I'll have to fish a wire through there and grab it. That's not the end of the world. Yeah, that stupid thing. This one's a little more stubborn. Got it though. When in doubt, punch it out. Yeah, I got my wire here. That's nice. Hopefully there's enough lead there. Yeah, that's plenty. Alright, so we will take this guy and skin it back so we can have some ground wire sticking out there. There we go. Now I saw a guy using a flux pens type applicator, and honestly I don't usually use flux. I mean the solder has flux built in, but it seems like it really helps with some of this Chinese wire where solder doesn't really like to adhere to it very well. But yeah, I like to tin it first. Get the solder to adhere to the wire before we attempt to put it on there. Yeah, it's taking pretty good. Alright, same deal. We'll get a little blob on here. We'll get that grounded. You know, I probably ought to do this grounding wire right now. Between the pots, those 3 pots. Yeah. Everything's a pain, you know. You know, the right thing to do would be just to skin part of it, but I'm gonna take it all off if I can. There we go. Alright, let's get that. Put this with that. Damn, a big old bee just flew by me. Okay, we'll do that. Let's get rid of all of it. Okay, get our solder blob. Get this thing going here. Let's get this thing. It's kind of pain in the ass, of course. Not much of a solder blob. I gotta get some more on here. There we go. Nice. That's good. That's good. Okay, I'll just turn the corner here. Get this guy on there. Another solder blob. I've been thinking about putting this solder on a spool, or a spool on like a dispenser of some kind, so it's easier to pull out. Very nice. Trim this guy up. Get that going. About there. And we will prime this up a little, scrape this so it can. There's actually some kind of waxy substance there, so that's a good idea to rough up your pot to get solder to stick there. Start with a little primer. Get that going. It goes. Good deal. Get another blob. And put that guy on there. There it goes. Good deal. We'll trim that excess. And this should be good to go. But before we celebrate, oh, I still got to put this hot wire on. Hang on, JD. The dog wants in so bad. All right. Forgot about that guy. That's important. Not great. I'm gonna get a little more solder on there. Hopefully that stays where it's at. There we go. There we go. All right. Do just a quick test here. Then I'll button this thing up and we'll do a sound test. All right, the moment of truth. Pray for the best. Good deal. All right, let's get the sound test going.